What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Join Dota League Season 3 playoffs we have going here between Sqreen Squad and xGame on the Radiant Die, respectively. They're currently 1-1 in this best-of-3 series, so this is the deciding game. I'm going to be bringing you the action. I'm Mike Loris, and also bringing you the action is going to be Blackadder.
Good evening for the last time in this series, ladies and gentlemen, and as we go into this third and final important game, I believe the winners of this matchup will be taking on Power Rangers. It's going to be, with all honesty and hope, one hell of a game. We already have bans out of Void and a Death Prophet. There's no Death Prophet in this one for once. Ban out on the Naga, respect towards Mantis. Ban out on the Lycanthrope, obvious reasons. And unfortunately, to my greatest disdain, first pick Razor.
He's a good hero. Unfortunately, he's a good hero. Maybe in a couple days we won't be seeing this any longer, as he's going to get hit pretty hard with the Nerf bat. But for right now, we're just going to have to suck it up and see the big blue ball of electricity. Hopefully Sqreen Squad are going to pull something equally strange out, but last game I don't think the Tusk really did anything. What do you think about that?
My view on how the Tusk worked that game, he was trying to start some fights. He did what he could with the punch. He provided some damage, but he didn't really play as aggressively as I would expect of a Tusk. I mean, it's a very aggressive, if not one of the most aggressive supports in the game. I think, in some ways, an Earthshaker would have done more. Sure, not as aggressive, still a very good defensive support, but long-range Fissure can be the initiator just like Ice Shards, and it then still can bring that big hammer drop of the Echo Slam.
Yeah, something like an Earthshaker or a Wraith King or pretty much any other of the melee supports, I would say, would have done an equally good job, if not better. So, I don't know. Maybe they're going to go for it again since they're really comfortable with it, but they're going to pick up the Panda instead. Brewmaster is going to be the response, and I wouldn't mind seeing a Shadow Shaman here. It's pretty standard to go for Brewmaster and then one support. And there it is. Scarith Mage, Shadow Shaman. It's all the same.
This will sort of signal towards Sqreen Squad's draft. Maybe they'll look to pick up the Earthshaker for Earthshaker-Skywrath combination later in the draft. But it's going to be a Centaur for xGame. Again, no surprises. These teams like their Centaur, and I have to raise 2 points right now. Tinker is not banned, and neither is Doom.
Yeah, Doom is going to be fantastic against the Brewmaster, but it will cluster up the lanes a little bit for xGame, and we are going to see Doom being kicked out right now, so no longer an issue. Tinker's still in the pool. I think would be a little bit better for Sqreen Squad, although it's still kind of awkwardly positioned right now. It's Tusk is going to get that respect ban, but the Centaur for xGame, last game, despite the fact that they did end up losing, Stallcat's Centaur was absolutely on point. Like, I want to say the Stomp had an average of like 2.5 heroes hit per Stomp.
Well, I think an average of 2 heroes a stomp would be about accurate. I mean, the hoof stomps were seriously on point by all the Centaur plays in the last 2 games. But my big problem with this here is, when you have the potential of a Centaur, why not draft the Tide instead? Sure, you lose a little bit of potential for a burst combination, but the Ravage will guarantee a stun on pretty much everyone. Then you've got Anchor Smash as well to reduce the physical damage being dealt, and that was a lot of the problem in the last game, the Viper's potential for physical damage.
Well, I mean, they kind of play slightly different roles. I would say versus a Brewmaster, I would rather have a Centaur than a Tidehunter, but overall, I'd say the Tidehunter is a little bit more consistent, especially with how he plays in the lane. That being said, it's a very minor difference between the two, and a lot of it has to do with how you want to actually play the lineup. xGame clearly showed that they love the Centaur Warrunner, so it's not the worst pick in the world, but I think Tidehunter in general is a little bit safer, and that's what you want in your first couple picks. You want heroes that could go in any direction, or you want heroes that will be very rarely shut down. Centaur, you could shut him down a lot easier than you could shut down a Tidehunter. That being said, the pick from Sqreen Squad is going to be the Mirana, so it doesn't really have the most setup right now. Concussive Shot, Mirana, Arrow isn't the best combination.
No, but again, they could go with a Mirana tri-lane. Mirana, Skywrath, Earthshaker is something we have seen quite a lot, actually. I mean, Coast occasionally run it. He United like to run it. Hell, even Moscow 5 run that combination, with PGG playing support Mirana. I mean, it's potential here, but nonetheless, we do get the Shadow Shaman for xGame. They're now giving them that control again, and Razor plus Shadow Shaman has a lot of potential for tower pushing as well.
Shadow Shaman with that quick Hex is going to come out really fast and hopefully shut down the Brewmaster split or deny Mirana a leap or something like that. Also some pretty nice synergy between the Centaur and Shadow Shaman, since Shadow Shaman is probably not going to get his Blink Dagger too quickly. So, nice, again, really balanced hero for xGame. I would say both sides not really lending themselves into any particular direction. They just want to make sure that their lanes are as strong as possible and that they have a lot of mid-game team fight. xGame, potentially a little bit more early game focus, but as it stands right now, nothing too surprising or nothing crazily aggressive or defensive or anything like that.
10 seconds remaining.
I'll agree to that much, but I look at Sqreen Squad's lineup, and it does sort of twig a memory of mine. There was a draft that was very similar to this. Okay,
Dire team pick.
Is it still? Is it still that same draft that you're thinking of?
No. I was going to say there was a Titan draft a couple of weeks back where they drafted Brewmaster, Skywrath, Mirana. It was a core Mirana, and Skywrath was 5-role support with a Zeus as 4-role. But now we see a sniper. I don't know anymore.
Well, Sniper has been gaining in popularity, but when you're not running a pushing comp, I don't think Sniper is really the hero you want to have.
No, and that's the xGame, Blink Daggers. I mean, Blink Dagger Shadow Shaman, Blink Dagger Centaur Warrunner. They can get in Sniper's face, and that is the problem for a Sniper. If the enemy just appear right in front of him, I mean, it says it all in the name, Sniper. He wants to be at range, for Christ's sake.
Well, Centaur, Warrunner, Blink Dagger, there were extremely important pickups in the last game. Like we said, a lot of the game hinges upon when the Centaur picks up his Blink Dagger. The Batrider is actually still in the pool, and if they just get more and more heroes with mobility, then the Sniper is going to have a worse and worse time. Brewmaster can only do so much in order to run interference and try to keep the xGame heroes off of Sniper, but if they do get to the Sniper in the backlines or the Skywrath Mage, then Sqreen Squad, they are just going to get obliterated, because all of xGame's cores right now are fairly tanky.
I'll completely agree to that. I mean, Centaur, high health pool plus return. Return is going to deter Sniper to a fair amount. Razor builds tanky, Aghanim Scepter. It's concerning, at least in my mind, that Sqreen Squad decide for the Sniper. But then again, maybe they know something I don't. And there's the Earthshaker that I was looking for. I was thinking maybe we would see the Earthshaker for Sqreen Squad, but not with a Sniper.
Well, I mean, Earthshaker Shadow Shaman is a decent enough lineup for xGame as Sqreen Squad. Potentially just going to go with the Mirana Skywrath Mage support combination. It's very pokey at that. Like, they could do a lot from a range, but as far as getting the kills, it's going to be very difficult. Sniper can't actually contribute that much. I would expect him to be going for Shrapnel. It's very rare to see anything but that, but still, it's going to be kind of difficult for Sqreen Squad to actually set up any early game kills. They're going to ban out the Phantom Assassin. It was a possibility for xGame, I suppose, and, well, with the lineup they have right now, they could go with literally any other core, although I would say it's more likely to see a Morphling than it is to see a Phantom Assassin.
I would be inclined to agree with you there, but PA would not go amiss, I will grant you that. PA could work, but nonetheless, you're still against Team Blink Dagger. I mean, xGame Earthshaker, again, another one of those Blink heroes the Sniper really don't like. There's the Venomancer, so there's their final hero to start getting that push rolling. So it's a core, in my mind, Veno, Sniper, and Brewmaster with a support Mirana Skywrath for Sqreen Squad. What do xGame go here? Do we get the PA that you're looking for? Or do we get the Morphling?
Well, I mean, PA's banned out, although any other hero with either a Blink inherently or a Blink that they could pick up later on is still going to be what xGame are looking for to really punish this Sniper. I really want to see a Riki right here. I don't really know how viable that actually is. Riki, Night Stalker, those types of heroes, just to run up and get in the face of the Sniper, at the same time have silences for Brewmaster, Mirana. It's going to be an Invoker, so nothing as crazy. If Sqreen Squads had the xGame lineup, I'm sure they would have gone for that Night Stalker, but Invoker is a solid enough hero. He will be landing Sunstrikes a lot, and he will struggle a little bit more than some other heroes as far as getting to the Sniper, but if he does, then Sniper's going to get obliterated.
I'm in complete agreement with you there, but the Riki, I wouldn't say. I wouldn't have agreed on that. We've not had the patch yet. I think Riki after the patch, maybe, but not yet. Nonetheless, as we go into this game, I have to ask you, since we are 1-1 in this series, and with these two drafts from these two teams, who is your money on?
I would say xGame probably have this 70-30. I just feel like the Sniper pick is just such a dead hero, and he will probably not get off the ground. He will be played mid, so that's probably his best bet, but Earthshaker Shadow Shaman is a devastating roaming comp, so I want to see the Sniper win, but I think xGame are going to take it.
I would be in agreement with you there. I'm going to put my money on xGame mainly because I'm uncertain with the sniper. I will, however, say Sqreen Squad are known for unorthodox plays, and as I mentioned, that line, unorthodox is the line between genius and insanity. This sniper could work out, and if it does, a sniper with any form of advantage can completely turn a game. But will that be the case in this one?
What's with all the scribbling?
Well, we have yet to see. Obviously, Sniper and Venomancer with the last pickup, they have a good amount of pushing together. Shrapnel is, especially in the middle lane, which Sniper I'm expecting is going to go, is going to be able to chip down the tower of xGame pretty steadily. It's not the quickest push by any means. It's no Pugna or Death Prophet. But assuming he does have a relatively easy time in that lane, or if he's not getting rotated upon 24/7, then Necroman on the Sniper is going to be able to take down the tower, and Sqreen Squad should be able to get some gold off of that. The faster they could get a Blink Dagger on the Brewmaster, the better off they'll be. But while we're in this pause, we might as well introduce the teams on the Sqreen Squad. We got Mirana playing the... Mirana is going to be played by Sqreen. Hiroso is going to be on the Scarith Mage. Necroman is on the Sniper, with ZXC on the Venomancer, and Slander on the Brewmaster.
And of course, on that flip side of the coin for xGame, we have Stalcat playing the Centaur Warrunner. We've got Equal playing the Earth Shaker. We've got Reeves playing the Shadow Shaman, Mantis on the Razor, and finally, Wadafaka on the Invoker.
This Shadow Shaman Invoker have some pretty badass headpieces. I don't think I've ever seen these before. They look kind of bad, actually. I don't like them.
I think they would look more like Juggernaut masks to an extent, but then again, I'm a big Juggernaut fan myself. Nonetheless, though,
Yeah,
we both favour xGame. We've got the players introduced. I'm going to throw this one out there for the chat quickly. Guys, it's a 1-1. Who do you think will win? Sqreen Squad or xGame? Put the team name that you think will win in chat.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll count that up, and then we'll give you your winnings later on. I have 70-30 odds on xGame, so bet your HeflaTV points right now, and then we will tally up the winner of the most HeflaTV points by the end of this game.
I'm sure we can get the others to do that. I mean, Couchor and Hefla, I'm sure they're watching. They can help us out. But nonetheless, aggressive smoke coming out of Sqreen Squad. They want to come in, and it's already revealed, though, and high ground advantage here. Slight one towards xGame. The Stomp's going to land. That's a brilliant Echo Slam. They're going to get First Blood. Mantis picks up the kill on Hiroso, and Hiroso not had the best of luck with First Bloods in this series so far.
Yeah, he's been the one to die. At the very least in the last game, I don't remember who gave First Blood in game number 1, but it was probably him because he's a support player. I don't know. It was mighty bold of Sqreen Squad to take that path in order to get into the enemy jungle. Moving upwards in the high ground is always going to be devastating. With an Earthshaker on the other end, it borders on suicidal. So Sqreen Squad, they were kind of asking for that one to happen.
Indeed, I think we'll call that one a stroke of insanity. But nonetheless, as we get this one underway, the lanes as they take shape, we've got a potential duo of ZXC and Hiroso on the Scarith Mage and Venomancer, maybe a tri-lane, which I'm thinking it will be, with Sqreen on that Mirana. So aggro tri up against a defensive tri of Razor, Earthshaker, and Shadow Shaman. So odds-wise, favouring these two tri-lanes, I'm honestly not sure who's going to come out on top. I mean, Mantis isn't going to have a very easy time draining these heroes' damage away. On top of all of that, you've got the potential for some form of control coming out of Reeves on that Shadow Shaman, but you're up against ZXC and Hiroso, who do have quite a bit of damage between them.
I think this lane is going to slightly favor xGame. Again, they have the defensive side, so they're able to pull, or eventually pull, and get the equilibrium under their control, whereas Sqreen Squad don't really have that much of that luxury. Also, though they do have a lot of nice early game heroes, it's mostly slows that they're dealing with, whereas xGame are actually dealing with hard lockdown in the Earthshaker as well as Shadow Shaman. Earthshaker is really the tipping point where I would say xGame have this lane under control. Bottom lane Slander, though, going to go strong into Stalcat very early on. Usually this lane is fairly even, but Brewmaster with the guaranteed crits is going to put some pretty serious hurt on the Centaur early.
And I think that one's actually one of the justified changes coming up in 0.82. The strength of that guaranteed crit at the earlier levels is just insanely powerful, and now that being nerfed by 6 seconds at level 1, it's, I think, rightfully so.
Yeah, so maybe in the next patch we won't be seeing this amount of early game dominance from the Brewmaster, but He's still a pretty potent hero, since the split is really what you care about. There's a rotation over towards the mid lane. If Mirana lands this arrow, they might be able to kill off the Invoker, but I don't know. Necroman as a sniper won't really be able to help out that much. The arrow will land. Now the shrapnel and the right clicks. Headshots, how lucky is he? I don't think he's landed a single one yet, but the damage might be there regardless. Come on, ranged heroes. They will just barely get it. Sunstrike will be thrown, but they get the kill. Nice free-handed arrow from Sqreen.
Indeed, and I honestly don't think I saw a single headshot in that. Not a single one. Necroman clearly doesn't have a horseshoe wedged somewhere it doesn't belong. But nonetheless, TP back in from Motherfucker, and he's going to continue trying to farm up this lane as best he can. But I don't know. The rotations from a Mirana like that, I'm actually favouring the sniper in this lane, and that takes a lot for me to admit.
Yeah, Sniper is going to be very happy with that, and he's actually, wow, dominating the Invoker as far as last hits. Obviously, Invoker starting off with relatively low base damage. He's going to get a better time once he gets more points of Extort, but Sniper doing very well for himself. And also Sqreen, I don't know if you saw this, rotated down to the bottom lane, landed an almost max duration arrow on the Centaur. Stalcat barely managed to slip away, given that he has a hoof stomp to himself in the Brewmaster, but still, Sqreen himself, doing very well with these arrows that have been pretty much free-handed the entire time. No setup at all. ZXC on the top lane, though, might be in a little bit of trouble. The concussive shot is going to save him, and now putting a little bit more damage back towards Reeves. Mirana has teleported in. Arrow's going to fly. Once again, will connect on the softest hero, but I don't think they have enough damage to kill off this Shadow Shaman. They might, but it's going to cost them Hiroso. Or will it? Hiroso's still alive. Sunstrike will not kill him, but Razor will. As a support for a support trade, overall, I think xGame going to be pretty happy with how that went, seeing as though their Razor got the kill, but still, I mean, they expected to just get the kill and get out. It shouldn't have been that hard.
Indeed, I'll completely agree to that one, but that's the threat of the Earthshaker. He's such a good defensive support. They tried to poke and prod, Venomancer got away, have a re-engage, and 1-for-1 at the end of the day. But again, this is an aggressive tri-lane versus a defensive tri-lane. I'm expecting kills. I think we're both expecting kills. And the more kills we see up here, the better, in all honesty. Hiroso will be just looking for those kills, looking to set it up with a concussive shot and the Gale from ZXC on that Venomancer. And even though this is a core Venomancer in a tri-lane, he's getting those points up in the Plague Ward. And that Plague Ward could just be the tipping point. I mean, sure, it's a little bit of damage to these heroes at such an early point in the game, but it will put the wave of the creep momentum in favor of Sqreen Squad.
Oker's going to run to Mirana, will dodge an arrow, but now Sniper's going to come in, finally get some headshots, and is going to break level 6 off of that. So Sqreen getting another kill for himself without needing an arrow, pretty nice. And at the same time, Slander got jumped upon by a Shadow Shaman in smoke, though he is going to survive. He bottled up all the way to full right before he ran into those two heroes. So overall, Sqreen Squad, they're making a lot more rotations happen than I really would expect. As, whoa, top lane, Razor going down? Okay, I wasn't even looking up there, because that really should not be happening.
No, that shouldn't, but he gets caught by a Gale as well as just the damage potential of Hiroso with those arcane bolts. I mean, it's a very scary thing to deal with, and this is going to be a very aggressive game across the board by all imaginations in this one. Equals continuing to farm up well, and from where we sit, it's going to be a case of who can get the most out of the tri-lane situation. It's going to be a case of who gets the most kills, and as we sit right now, it's advantage Sqreen Squad, especially considering how well Necroman is doing in this mid lane with the Sniper. He has 2 whole levels over What a Fucker's Invoker. That is a devastating lead.
That's insane. Like, any matchup, let alone this one, which should be a little bit better for the Invoker. They're going to go for Centaur once more. I don't think they have enough damage to kill off Stalcat, but yeah, in the meantime, I want to ask you 2 things. 1, what do you think about the Sniper's skill build? 2, what was the second one? I had another one. Hold on. What do you think about the Razor's skill build? Yeah, that was the second one.
I'll deal with the Razor first in the meantime. The Razor, I'm liking the idea of getting the Plasma Field, but Unstable Current, what's it actually going to trigger off of here? I mean, it can be procced off of the headshot, it can be procced off what on this tri-lane can deal with it. I suppose Arcane Bolt, but I agree with not getting the static link, considering he's up against 3 range heroes and will not be able to get a good link off in time. So where he gets the majority of his damage is going to be from the Plasma Field. So on paper, it's an uncommon build, but it works in this game only.
Alright, and they're going to go once again for Wadapaka over in mid. I don't know how Necroman is finding so many rotations into his lane, but somehow this Sniper is going to end up completely crushing this Invoker over on the mid lane. That's the third death of the Invoker, and we rarely see Invoker being this not irrelevant as they go for Mantis up on top lane. Arrow's going to be thrown point blank. Mantis still surviving with stars falling. That will bring Mantis low, but it will also kill off everyone else from Sqreen Squad as Mantis will slip away unharmed. He won't die to this poison, but that's going to be 3 kills going the way of xGame. Magic Stick really proving the difference there as Mantis does survive.
Indeed, and as we stand right now, if we look at Reeves and Equal, they're still continuing to put pressure on this top lane, and most of that ability to turn around was coming out of Reeves. He got a Shackles on one, a Hex on another, as well as that Ether Shock to finish off two. It was huge plays coming out of Reeves in that one, and as we stand, Mantis in the meantime is going to continue to eat Arcane Bolts, and I think it's 5 for 5, 7 minutes in. We're in a very aggressive scenario, and if we look at the graph just right now, sure, it's early, but it's still at the 0 gold mark and the 0 experience mark.
Oh, it might turn a little bit more as ZXC and Hiroso both on the top lane. Serpent Ward deployed, will kill off the Venomancer. Mantis will kill off Hiroso at the exact same time. Arrow flew through, didn't do anything. Serpent Wards were deployed for a kill. It's okay this early stage, but I would have liked to see them just settle for 1 kill and then use Serpent Wards to take a tower instead. Regardless, a nice little 2 kill going the way of xGame.
Now, you did ask me another question, I believe it was about the sniper's skill build, yeah?
Yep.
Maxing take aim, I completely agree with. However, he got a very, as we get a little bit more aggression up on that top lane. Ooh, Sqreen needs to be careful. Does eat an Ether Shock, but should be safe. Emphasis on should be, considering, look at Equal. He's getting aggressive. Does he know where the enemy is in the tree line? I don't think he does. And now in comes the mass TPs. Could be looking for a kill on Equal here. In comes Necroman with those hits, as well as that long-range arrow. That's going to be absolutely perfect. Another kill going the way of Necroman on the sniper. But while we've got the sniper targeted, let's take a quick look at his skill build. 2 points in headshot. I believe when you asked me, he only had 1 point there, but he was maxing take aim. I agree with maxing take aim. The 1 point in the headshot he had there for just the chance of that mini stun. Sure, I can agree with that. He also had a value point into shrapnel at that point. Shrapnel, 15% slow, as well as 12 damage per second for 9 seconds. It's sort of worth that 1 point. I mean, the 15% slow is enough for Necroman to attack move and just keep up to the target that he's got inside the shrapnel. It works in all intent and purpose for this game. He's getting a very aggressive gank-heavy mid lane, and he's just punishing the Invoker left, right, and center.
Yeah, so
It also lets him harass the tower.
The sniper is doing pretty well. If he had more shrapnel, I want to say that the tower would be already down by now, but they're looking once again for Wadafaka's Invoker as Mirana. Sqreen has had such a nice hit rate with those arrows. Assassinate will put a little more pressure onto the Invoker, but Sqreen Squad, oh, they will miss like the first arrow in the freaking game, so Sqreen is going to rotate out of that. That's only a level 1 arrow as well, so even though he did miss that, it's not going to be a huge deal, but ZXC dying up on top lane might be a little bit bigger deal. The shock is going to happen, and the stick will keep him up alive for now. Stampede will keep everyone safe, but here comes the Brewmaster. We'll go after Mantis, and I don't think Mantis should be able to survive this one with the damage the Brewmaster's putting out. That's going to be a kill on the Razor. Now an arrow will fly, though this one will miss as well. They will go straight for the Shadow Shaman. Hiroso is very weak, and they do deploy the Serpent Wards. Reeves will kill off Sqreen in exchange for his own life, making that a 2-for-1 trade overall. I mean, Serpent Ward's being deployed once again, but still all the towers are up for Sqreen Squad, and well, the Brewmaster, off of that nice little rotation, just teleporting in to split, has now picked up a Blink Dagger.
Indeed, and a Blink Dagger on the Brewmaster is going to be an absolutely devastating thing in this game. Sqreen Squad have all the tools they honestly need to start winning these team fights handily. I mean, Primal Split with Blink Dagger. On top of this, they've got the Sniper who's continuing to farm up. He has a Drum, I believe, now, yes, flying out to him, and with that Drum finished, his right click is going to be scary. It gives him that bit more HP, and now Sqreen rotating in under the cover of Moonlight Shadow. Wadafaka in a lot of trouble, plus the Blink Dagger. There's no escape from that. The Invoker evaporates.
Poor guy. Never saw it coming, never had a chance to do anything. He just got 100-0'd in less than a second. The problem with Sqreen Squad's lineup, as opposed to what they had last game, is that they will struggle a little bit more to take towers off of these kills. They might be able to kill his tower because it is already so weak, but anything else is going to be a little bit tough. Earthshaker, I think they spotted him out with the tail end of that Sentry Ward, but regardless, it is going to be the first tower to fall, it looks like. Will be quickly met on the bottom lane as xGame take their own tower, but Sqreen Squad, they really just want to farm up and then fight. They aren't good at taking towers, at least until Shrapnel is maxed out and Plague Wards are maxed out. Then maybe they'll do it, but even then, those pushing skills aren't that great.
Indeed, and I'm considering right now, what do you reckon Necroman's actually going to build into on the sniper in this case?
Well, usually we see snipers take a very either balanced role or glass cannon role. Because he has drums, it shows that he's going to be going for a balanced role. So Sanjin Yasha is something that you often see in that regard, but I don't know if he's going to be going for that one. Slender is going to jump in and get a clap down on bottom. Also, they get the concussive onto Reeves, though Stampede is really good against Brewmaster. They're going to throw an arrow, which will field goal. 3 points for Sqreen Squad. Now the Storm War's being deployed, annihilating everyone from Sqreen Squad. They're all going to die. Oh my god, that splash damage was the real deal. That's 3 kills for xGame, and they might take a tower off of this as well. What a play from Reeves. Using these surf wards aggressively to get kills every single time, but making it work every single time as well.
I completely agree with you on that one. Reeves is the man of the match for xGame in my mind. His Ether Shocks, his Mass Serpent Wards, he's just been on point with everything. And I honestly have to give credit to Reeves here. I mean, man of the match so far, I reckon I'm going to say Reeves, just off the back of that alone. However, nonetheless, you do still have Necroman roaming around, and he wasn't brought down in that one. He's going to head up towards that top lane, does have himself that Aquila drum phase. You think we're going to see a more of a balanced build out of him? So what item next is my question to you.
Probably Yasha, and then either holding that for a Maelstrom or getting Sanjin Yasha. Those are the 2 builds that I see most from Sniper. It's here that I actually see quite a lot more than one would really expect, because it is one of those fringe pickups in order to complement the Death Prophet usually. But yeah, it's either going to be that or something like a Mask of Madness. And with the drums pickup, I don't think it's going to be Mask of Madness. Usually it's just, if you get the Mask of Madness, it's I'm not going to get anything defensive and then hope I just don't die. And well, he's taken precautions already, so could go either way, but those are the really 2 big routes for the sniper.
Well, I reckon that you're right on the idea if he's going to go for a more balanced build. Maybe the earlier Maelstrom into a Yasha could be the order of business, but I doubt we will see a Mask. I mean, a Mask, by all means, is a very aggressive item, but it makes the sniper so squishy. And now we get another Moonlight Shadow rotating in. Sqreen, he's hunting for equal right now, and if he hits the arrow, this could be a good fight, especially considering Mantis is nearby, could be a collateral kill. And Sqreen knows this. How long have they got left on the Moonlight? 2 seconds, 1 second. He's going to go into the Roche Pit, but he did reveal himself. Pings go out there. They realize Sqreen is nearby, and surely they won't try to take this fight. Pings go out from Reeves, maybe thinking about re-engaging this one. It's a very hard one, and it's actually a Blink Dagger out of the sniper.
Well, we're wrong. After this
We're the
Blink
casters,
Dagger...
we're always wrong.
No, he's wrong.
No,
it's the bad item, Necroman. Sell it and get something else. But off of this Blink Dagger, he might be going just that glass cannon build straight after and just relying on his mobility to keep him alive. But here's a wraparound from xGame. They're going to run to Sqreen, and that's going to be a very easy kill for them. Although Murano will spot the fact that everyone is here. Maybe everyone from Sqreen Squad will back up. No, actually, the Murano leaps out. Assassinate now onto the Earthshaker. He's going to get silenced up. No Mystic Flare drop just yet, but he will walk right into that one. That's going to be 1-for-1. Support for support. And now everyone else from xGame on the run. Brewmaster wants in. Necroman doesn't have that much mana, unfortunately, so it looks like that will just be it. Ultimate was used by Slander, so xGame, I think it could have gone a lot better for them, but ultimately it still didn't go the worst.
No, it didn't, and if any of those heroes would have checked their head into the pit, they would have seen Stalker having his dagger repeatedly disabled by Roshan. He seems to have annoyed Roshan slightly, but nonetheless, he'll get out there unscathed near enough. And I'm wondering at this point, with that Blink Dagger on the sniper, how aggressive the sniper is going to be, since it's one of those items that lets him stay in range more than anything. And now they're going to come in the Mass Serpent Wards, and it's going to be a case of tier 1 in the mid lane. That's the order of business here. But arrow's going to fly through, doesn't impact anyone, threads the needle, but in comes Slander. He's going to go for it anyway, but the Hex is there, stealing the damage now, but the Sunstrike, Meteor combo will miss, unfortunately. Still, the tower will go down, cleaned up by those Mass Serpent Wards. And are we going to see a potential chase for Sqreen and crew? I don't think so. They're going to just wait, regroup, get ready, reset, and go again. They don't have the Primal Split. They can't really fight this one. It's got a 65-second cooldown still remaining, and as we stand, 15 minutes in, 10 to 12 kill score. Let's take a quick look at the graphs. xGame actually hold the net worth lead right now, 4,500. On the flip side of that coin, experience-wise, again, nearly a 3k lead in experience towards xGame as well. So while it feels like Sqreen Squad have control, the reality is a much different thing.
Yeah, xGame, I think it's because of the Centaur, who's pretty much been playing very quietly in this game. He's going to get assassinated, but Stampede will get him out of there, especially with the Force Staff. Centaur wasn't in this game isn't really doing as much as he was doing in the previous, so it's really hard to say, oh, Centaur is, has all this farm and he's killing things. He's only 1-0 and 2, so that's a lot of the net worth on xGame that so far hasn't had the largest of impacts. I'm actually surprised in the middle lane that the Brewmaster didn't go down there. He got Hex, but everything missed straight after, so Rosso potentially in a little bit of trouble, dropped down all the way to half HP. Sqreen Squad, they're looking for a fight. They have a Moonlight Shadow that they could use to get in, or just blink in with the Brewmaster, but they won't find anyone any longer. This Sniper is going to need a little bit more time before he actually gets going. It's one of the weaknesses of the hero. He's great at sieging things, but there's a weird moment in the game where he doesn't really do that much damage. He's very easy to kill, and he is really ignorable if you choose to ignore him. So Necroman needs more items, because right now he's not doing that much damage, but it's going to be Slander potentially in trouble, or Necroman. They're both in a little bit precarious situation, especially Necroman. I think he's just dead here.
Yep, can't really escape that when a meteor gets dropped on your head from above. But as we get a good kill onto that sniper, that's a 424 gold bounty going the way of Wadafucker. In all honesty, a good kill. But from where we go from here, it's going to be a case of Roshan. Mass Serpent wants to be commit. They're going to use the Force Spirits as well. They want to shred Roshan as quick as humanly possible. And I've got to point out, for xGame, they have all of the daggers online with the exception of the Earthshaker, and he's only 130 gold away. So almost having those big 3 blink daggers, and that's going to be very painful for Necroman on that sniper.
Not only Necroman on the Sniper, but also potentially getting the jump onto the Brewmaster could be huge. If you kill him off with the Blink Hex, then that means there's no split, and that's pretty much the largest threat in the game. Mantis is going to be spotted out. I think he got body blocked, so he should know what's going on. Oh, he definitely knows what's going on now. The Mystic Flare is going to do nothing. A Stampede once again from xGame, being used purely defensively, but that's like the 4th, 5th, 6th time that Stampede has been used to keep everyone safe from xGame. This Centaur's ultimate has been just such a great tool for xGame in order to keep everyone alive, and Razor, otherwise, I think would have just gone down.
You've got to consider at the end of the day, what does Sqreen Squad have in terms of control effects? When they've got Primal Split up, they gain an extra stun in the Tornado, of course, but outside of that, they've got Arrow and Headshot being the only stuns. Everything else is a slow. Venomous Gale, you've got the Concussive Shot, all of that is completely mitigated by the Stampede. That's why the Centaur is so powerful in this game in terms of a defensive cooldown.
Speaking of Centaur powerful, he's going to go for Necroman. 90 short of killing off this Sniper, and now Sniper looking for a blink out. That was a full Hoof Stomp double edge combination with the Sunstrike, and Sniper barely manages to slip away. I think the Sunstrike might have been split. I wasn't actually looking at that. It might have been one random unit still alive there, but either way, Sniper gets to live, albeit barely. And xGame really showing how much damage they can put out, and that's pretty much what we were talking about in the draft. Sniper is one of those heroes that if you get on top of him, much like the Drow Ranger, he's going to be able to do literally nothing except just die, and it's going to be difficult for him, as you said. Now with the Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker, everyone that has a Blink Dagger, everyone who wants a Blink Dagger on xGame has one, and hell, even the Invoker could get one later on. So Sniper is going to need to have the perfect positioning. Blink Dagger may just not be enough for that.
I would agree with you there, but from where we stand, Wadafucker is in quite a bit of trouble. He gets caught out by the Skywrath Mage of Hiroso, but in comes that Aethershock of Reeves once more to ensure the burst damage is there. There was no backup, unfortunately, for the Skywrath Mage, and that's quite an easy kill going the way of xGame, but arrows are going to continually fly, and not going to find anything, unfortunately, at least for now. But we do have that siege potentially starting to build up from Sqreen Squad. They're going to go in, though. They're going to go straight into ZXC. He gets caught by a ward trap once more, but in comes Slander. He wants to try to fight this one. The Venomous Gale goes off, but the Assassinate is there. Reeves is now in a lot of trouble. He will potentially go down to this one, but they force the Invoker's Aegis, and he's going to come back, but they still manage to at least bring down one. Now the Echo Slam from Equal, though, and Slander's going to be in a lot of trouble, but the Primal Split will go up, and now comes the turnaround. They're going to bring down the Invoker with that Primal Split, and now can they chase down and get Equal as well? Look how quick that Primal Split movement speed is. They're going to go straight for the Earthshaker, but he's going to be able to blink out, pick up an Illusion Rune, and keep running. Which one's the real one? They know which one it is, but can they finish him off in time? Tornado is there. They need more, though, and the Earthshaker is stuck in the air for a few more seconds, so they have the arrow to connect. No, they don't. They mistime it, and that's one blink out. But, oh, Equal almost walks into it. That was quite a close one there. But at the end of the day, a 2-for-0 trade in favor of xGame.
Yeah, Sqreen Squad took a decent enough fight there. I mean, the Brewmaster didn't die, which is probably crucial, and Necroman also surviving throughout all of that. Did quite a bit of damage, although Reeves showing how much damage he could do with the Shadow Shaman, using his items in order to get himself out of there. You know, all in all, I think Sqreen Squad should be okay with how that went, but that was also not the entire crew of xGame in the area. Sqreen Squad, they also weren't there, but, you know, Scarith Mage starting things off with the death wasn't exactly the best. Really, it was the fact that Invoker had the Aegis, but he got clipped by an arrow literally as soon as he respawned, so that is really what made the difference in that fight for Sqreen Squad, and they unfortunately, again, can't get anything off of that, and neither can xGame really, so it's just going to be kills traded here and there, and, well, Sniper got a kill, Shadow Shaman got a kill, Venomancer got a kill. Nothing really too huge, I don't think, for either end, although with the smoke up for mid, they might run into Wadafaka again. How unlucky is this Invoker? Seriously, he's going to get stampeded out, maybe. Mystic Flare not going to kill him off, but it will be an Arcane Bolt that will. That's his 6th death. This Invoker has just not been having a fun time. Now they're going to run Stallcat as well. Necroman, unable to do the damage there, but they're going to go for this tower push regardless. Level 4 take aim plus level 4 shrapnel is some pretty good sieging tool.
Indeed it is, and they're going to take this tower, I think, without much of a contest. They've got the Invoker dead for 30 seconds, and he brings a lot of damage to the table right now. Arrows are going to continually fly through, not going to connect on anything, but from where we stand, you've still got the potential initiation from Stallcat as well as Reeves, and Reeves has been on point with this Shadow Shaman, and he's going to go for it once more. They go for the Blink combo onto ZXC, but in comes the Primal Split to try to turn this one around. Assassinate will bring down the Shadow Shaman, and Stallcat will be the next target, but Mantis pops his BKB, and he's coming in trying to claw what he can. The Earthshaker will drop the Fissure, and down goes the Venomancer off the back of this one, but they lose the Centaur, and now the fight's just going to continue. They're still trying to do what they can, but Necroman lurking in the sidelines. He wants to bring down Equal. Blinks, however, go forward, and they don't really want to hang around. I reckon they could have stayed and got maybe 1 or 2 more kills or pickoffs, but they're going to go for other objectives instead. They've got the mid-tier 2. Are they now going to rotate for the top tier 2, or more wisely, do you think, the bottom tier 1?
Yeah, bottom lane is definitely going to be a lot easier. However, I don't think it's going to be anything until the Brewmaster gets his ultimate up again. That ultimate was just so disruptive, as it usually is, but xGame, they have nothing in order to fight up against that, and Sqreen Squad, a lot of that fight had to do with the fact that they picked up the Invoker beforehand. If the Invoker was there, then the fight definitely wouldn't have been as clean for Sqreen Squad, so they need the ultimates to be online at the very least, so 1 minute before that'll happen, and by that time, Slander is going to have his Aghanim Scepter up, so the Brewlings are going to be that much more powerful. He'll be able to get the Drunken Haze off on whoever he chooses, as well as get that additional clap. So Sqreen Squad, they're going to, first of all, smoke up and look to do the exact same thing that they just did to the Invoker. Take him out, or take anyone in xGame out, and then look to make a push straight after. Since it's a tier 1, they don't have to wait for all their cooldowns, but if they're really going to go deep, they need this split. And, well, now Sniper, with the Mithril Hammer, might be going for a BKB, although it could just as easily be something like a Desolator or Maelstrom to make him just do all of that damage. And, well, Sqreen Squad still sneakily smoking around, and they're going to wrap all the way around to xGame. I think this is going to involve xGame walking uphill into Sqreen Squad, although, well, this is going to be really awkward. This is, I would say, slightly better positioning for Sqreen Squad, although now that they're all split up, this is terrible positioning for them, because here comes Stallcat. He'll jump right in, go for Hroso only. Actually, everyone else from xGame managing to dodge that, so it's only a Skywrath Mage going down in exchange for the tower. That actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
No, that's actually quite fortuitous towards Sqreen Squad there. They get another objective, but now comes the potential for a kill. They're going to go for Necroman. He gets caught out by another Mass Serpent Ward. Beautiful positioning once more. And now comes the potential to kill Sqreen. But Sqreen's going to throw an arrow, going to impact straight onto Reeves. That could bring him down, but in comes Mantis once again to ensure the kill there onto the Mirana. And what else is still alive in this one? They've got the Brewmaster alive for a few more seconds, but he could be brought down if he's not careful. And there's still, of course, the Venomancer, but I don't think he's going to be doing anything. He's just respawned back in the base. And they do catch Slander with the shackles, and there is just no escape. That level of damage coming out of xGame onto a single target is just too damn high. And from where I sit,
go ahead.
It might be a case of tier 3s now.
Yeah, I would agree. That's the type of fight that I expected from that awkward smoke situation, but Sqreen Squad, they kind of stuck around for just a little bit too long, decided to go down the lane instead of just teleporting out, and ultimately the split from Brewmaster didn't do nearly enough, and well, they're going to lose the mid lane tier 2 tower at the very, very least. Sniper got jumped upon, and that's the worst case scenario for a Sqreen Squad. The rest of the heroes can't really give the Sniper a bulky front line once that happens, and well, Wadafaka off to the side is going to look for initiation here along with Equal, who still has his Echo Slam available. Everyone's invisible though, although they know about it. Wadafaka is going to get dropped pretty low. Assassinate will not kill him off as DXC does get his ultimate, but now the jump in going for Hroso. He's going to blindly Mystic Flare, will not kill off the Invoker, and also the Venomancer is going to die. Invoker will die to the poison in the end. That's a 1-for-2 trade that xGame are going to be probably happy to take since the tier 2 tower still stands. They could easily just slide right in and take that tower, although sitting back and teleporting is going to be the safer play, respecting the possibility that Brewmaster's ultimate might be up again.
I think that if they really wanted to, they could potentially force that tier 2, but what other options do they have here? Roshan, not alive quite yet, got a relatively long respawn on him. It's going to be about 2 minutes before we see Roshan once more. What else can they do? They could continue to farm up in the jungle, or maybe start to get some momentum on this top lane. The top lane tier 2 is a little bit easier to push in than the mid, considering the sides of the mid lane. You've got that high ground that you can jump down from. Same applies in defense, of course. But Necroman could potentially be caught out. Echo Slam's going to drop, and the Fisher. There's just too much damage there. He's not going to escape this one. One more right click coming out of Equal. And Necroman is starting to lose a lot of his steam here.
He will regain it back if he gets more farm, but that's a big if. He actually body blocked into the Earthshaker, so he should have known that something was up if he was really paying attention to his hero. But either way, drawing out the Echo Slam is the only win that Sqreen Squad are going to have out of that, and even then it's not really a huge deal. They need the Sniper to get more farm. This hammer needs to turn into something, whether that's Maelstrom or Desolator. Honestly, at this point, it doesn't even freaking matter. They just need the Sniper to be doing something, and they also need him to stay alive in the back end. Both of those things are going to be very difficult for them to do, especially as Sqreen jumps in to try to go for Stallcat. I have no idea what the Mirana was thinking there. I mean, like, even if it was just the Centaur by himself, I don't think the Mirana could get that kill.
No, nor did I. And it's just, in my mind, maybe Sqreen Squad's starting to go a little bit on tilt. They need to just rein it back in, regain their composure, get either the, as you say, Desolator or Maelstrom, but part of me wants to turn around and say get a BKB because you're against 3 Blink Dagger carrying heroes. I said this in the draft. The Sniper is so susceptible to that kind of burst damage if he can just get blinked on and annihilated. But it can be cured. A BKB can fix this issue.
It can situationally fix this issue because we've seen, well, first of all, Reeves getting the jump in onto ZXC. Lots of poison damage going back towards the Shadow Shaman, but not nearly enough to get the kill. So Reeves has been on point with his initiation, and a Blink Hex is incredibly difficult to prepare against. So Sniper, even though he may be getting this BKB soon enough, that still doesn't exactly mean that he's going to be safe completely in order to right-click things. And even if he does, he's not doing that much damage, at least not enough to make him 100% the focus of xGame. So this BKB is just another stepping stone so that he could get the next item, whatever that next item may be. But whatever the case, he's going to need a lot more time because he's still not completing that BKB, whereas xGame, they're satisfied with getting these kills, and now it's going to be Roshan for them. Will be cleaned up, and Aegis most likely will go the way of the Invoker or the Razor. That's good too. They have Aghanim Scepter with level 3 ultimate on Razor. They're going to go for the mid lane. I don't think it's defendable by Sqreen Squad, and I don't think they should even try.
I don't think it's defendable either. They may let this one fall, but you've got to remember, the level that they've fallen off in terms of potential for Sqreen Squad is quite large. I mean, they've just lost the Aegis once more, and if we look at the graph, that's nearly a 14,000 gold lead for xGame and a 20,000 experience lead. That is near a mountain to climb, and it's going to be a very difficult uphill struggle, but it is certainly doable. They have the potential to control these fights. They've got the Brewmaster with that primal split, they've got the damage and the control effects of, say, Mirana with the arrow, the slows coming through, but they need to kill, of all the heroes, most importantly, the Shadow Shaman. If he can get in and drop his full set of CC, it's going to be a big problem here for Sqreen Squad.
And in order to do so, I think the only way to realistically do that is to get in with the Moonlight Shadow. But there's a gem on the Centaur, there's a level 3 Necro Book on the Invoker. Getting the jump on the Shadow Shaman, who's going to be playing very far back, is going to be extremely difficult. Stallcat is very aggressively set up in the enemy side of the base. They don't know about it, Sqreen Squad, so they might be surprised by Centaur. Oh, now they know about it. They ping him out. Are they going to do anything about this, though? They probably can't because the xGame team is just so close by, and well, Stallcat's going to blindly blink in. Not really going to cost them that much, but they take the tier 2 tower easily, and with Eye of the Storm up plus the Aegis, they're going to go for everything. Sniper's going to need to teleport back, and now Sqreen Squad, they're going to have to make the defense of the lifetime.
Indeed, and this is going to be very tough to go uphill. I mean, they can clean up the Mass Serpent Wars from range, sure, but they've still got Eye of the Storm, and that's just shredding the creep wave. Now in comes Slander, gets that primal split off. The Assassinate flies as well. What if I could take a lot of damage, but There's just no potential for turnaround, and Reeves will get annihilated under a Mystic Flare and an arrow, but they need more than this. They need to kill the Invoker. He gets tornadoed up. Do they have the ability to re-engage? Yes, they do. Stalcat's thinking about it. They want to go in, but can they manage it in time? Mantis will shred and bring down the Skyreth Mage, and equally Stalcat will pick up the killing spree by killing off the Mirana as well. But still, you've got equal here. He does still have his Echo Slam ready to go. They force the Aegis at least onto the Razor, but ZXC and Slander cannot go toe-to-toe with Mantis and the rest of the lineup from xGame so easily. I mean, you've still got the Sniper alive, sure, but he is in the backlines of this fight. He is playing defensive. He doesn't want to risk being brought down. If the Sniper falls, it could all be over. And I'm going to quickly bring up buyback status. Who actually has buybacks for Sqreen Squad? The Mirana. That is it. That's a colossal problem at the end of the day.
Well, they also, at the very least, hold on to their Tier 3 tower. Unfortunately for Necroman, once the fight actually got to the point of getting to the secret shop area, that type of area, the Sniper, I don't know the exact count, but only landed like 3-4 right clicks. He was very, very cautious of the Earthshaker, and he was playing so far back that when the Brewmaster and the Skyreth Mage were going really deep in order to kill the Invoker, Sniper was nowhere near anything, and that means that Sqreen Squad were fighting 4v5 against the xGame side. It is a defense that they should be happy with, as the Mystic Flare combination finally landed on someone, but I don't know if they could rely on that going that well every single time the xGame side want to push, because as you said before, the Echo Slam was not used in that fight. The Aegis was used, but I think xGame are just powerful enough to just keep going down that top lane or any other lane that they choose, and Sqreen Squad are going to be hamstrung by the fact that they're 100% reliant on the Primal Split. If they don't have the split, they're not going to win a fight.
I'll agree to that. They need that Primal Split. Even with the Primal Split, they're still losing heroes very quickly, even with the control that Primal Split can bring. But nonetheless, there is a heart coming online to Mantis for the Razor, and I should think after that we may even look for a refresher and just bring that double Eye of the Storm.
That's going to be so very difficult for Sqreen Squad to fight up against. Killing off the Razor is going to be a larger and larger priority. Split that with the fact that they have to kill off Reeves before he gets his entire payload off, and suddenly Sqreen Squad are going to have to kill everyone from xGame before they get all their skills off, and that's simply not possible. Sqreen has picked up a Maelstrom on Mirana, so he's going to start transitioning into more of a damage role. Plus, they have the Aghanim Scepter on Venomancer, so the Sqreen Squad side definitely has a lot of damage between all their heroes. But it's really the survivability department where they are lacking, because xGame, they don't really care how much damage you can put out, because once the Earthshaker, Centaur, and Shadow Shaman are right on top of you, you're going to die very quickly, and you might get 1, maybe 2 right clicks off, but Maelstrom is not going to cut it. Aghanim Scepter, Poison Nova might be Sqreen Squad's largest tool in these fights, aside from the Primal Split.
Well, they've got the Aghanim Scepter, as you mentioned. I would very much like to see the Veil of Discord somewhere for Sqreen Squad. I mean, you consider how much magical damage that they actually have. Poison Nova as well, all amplified. A Veil would just go hand in hand with their entire draft and logic, but we just haven't seen one yet.
Well, hopefully someone will pick it up eventually. I would expect it's the Venomancer who's going to aim for that, but saving for buyback is going to be of the utmost importance for both of these sides, really. So item progression should be slow. Sqreen Squad, they're going to Moonlight Shadow up, and they might run into Wadafaka. Of course they would. I mean, it's always the Invoker in this game who's going to get picked off, but they're going to throw an arrow. Equal is going to, I think, see that arrow. Yeah, and he's going to back off. This Moonlight Shadow is going to fail. Although Stalcat's still in an awkward position, doesn't actually have a TP out. He's going to Stampede, Force Staff, and suddenly he's like 6,000 range away from where he started. So, easy escape from the Centaur. Sqreen Squad, they're really going to try to push this. This is really, really bold from them, because they're going to be walking into a whole swarm of xGame heroes with creep, quote-unquote, support, but creep support is only just food for the Earthshaker.
Completely agreed on that, and there is only one buyback available in this entire game right now, and it belongs to the Centaur. The snipes are going to start flying out from the Sniper, and from where we stand, one pickoff could make or break this entire fight for either of these teams. I mean, we say that it's a big lead here, gold-wise, towards xGame, sure. But Sqreen Squad still do have some potential to fight into this, if they can get a good initiation, if they can get a good Primal Split. Arrows will continue to fly, going to thread the needle again. Mantis just does not care. He will stand static, and there's no way to bring him down, really, off the back of just one arrow anyway.
Screen Squad, they're getting zoned out by Forge Spirits, and now ZXC is caught in an awkward position. Blink Fissure can very easily kill off this Venomancer, or Blink Hoof Stomp. They don't have Stampede quite yet. There's the Fissure and the Hoof Stomp, in fact. Venomancer is going to get Sunstruck as well. Arrow will fly into Stallcat and the Mystic Flare, but he's going to shrug that one off pretty easily. He doesn't give a damn. And now Hiroso is going to try to TP out. Force Staff, Hex, Shackle it's going to be. That's going to be 2 kills down for Screen Squad, and they don't even take the tower. That was... it wasn't as bad as I thought it could have been, but still not going that well for Screen Squad, because now they're down their 2 supports. They should be up by the time xGame get to the base, but still just more gold that you can't really afford to be giving to the xGame side.
I'll completely agree to that, and we've also got to consider there is a buyback for the Venomancer, but he's got a very short respawn time remaining. So does the Skywrath Mage. Doesn't have a buyback, but again, that short cooldown. They will all be alive, ready for this next defense. Will they be able to hold their racks is my question. We've seen some beautiful defenses in game number 2 of this series, but can they do it again? Can they do it again up against xGame? That is my question.
Well, Assassination at level 3 is pretty expensive as far as the mana is concerned, but the cooldown is very, very low. So Screen Squad, their best bet is going to be, set up the Plague Wards as per usual, and then just have all these skills fly. Arrows and assassinations galore. It doesn't matter if they really hit or who they hit on, because xGame, they're going to be forced back. Already the Shadow Shaman is back to the base, and he could eventually use his Blink and, kind of get around some of that damage, but if Sniper has a full mana pool and he's constantly throwing out those headshots, or the assassination shots, I guess you could say, then xGame, they're going to really struggle to start a fight with everyone at full HP. And if that doesn't happen, then there, again, is the damage problem of Screen Squad, and the fact that they do a lot of damage, but they can't really survive for very long. If you start the fight of everyone at xGame at 3/4 HP, then suddenly things get much easier, but they're going to smoke once again. Screen Squad, they know that they're at a disadvantage. They have to know at this point, but they're going to be playing so fearlessly. They're going to look for a potential Roshan, which isn't really going to be respawning just yet. Once again, they're in this weird position, and they might be sandwiched in because Razor's coming from the top, and Necroman, please don't leave your team. They're all going to break smoke, and pings from everyone. This is not the position you want to be in as Screen Squad. They're all clumped up.
And the line has been drawn. They know exactly where it is. Look at the line Reeves just drew on the minimap. That says it all. The ward saw it. This ward here. It's the bane of xGame at this point. Sorry, the bane of Screen Squad at this point. But they will kill the Dire Courier. Didn't have anything on it, but the arrow will actually impact on Mantis, and he could be brought down here. That's a pretty damn big kill. That's 1,000 gold going the way of Sqreen on that Mirana as well. So quite the advantage right there, but they still need to get back and defend this tier 3. However, we do get the initiation from Stalker. He breaks the TP, will manage to bring down the Skywrath Mage, and now in comes Reeves, looking for Sqreen. Sqreen gets hexed, shackles, there's no escape from the Shadow Shaman. And off the back of that, a damn good set of pickoffs coming out of xGame. They realize they lost Mantis, they don't care, they'll pick up 2.
And then go for Roshan straight after. I was going to say that picking off the Razor is exactly what Screen Squad should have been looking to do, and that would have kept them in the game by such a large amount of time, but losing 2 heroes straight after really makes that Razor kill kind of irrelevant. Like, it's great for the Mirana to get all that gold and everything like that, but losing her straight after and losing 2 heroes in general is going to mean that that trade is suddenly no longer worth it. Mirana's actually going to buy back into this game. They want to contest Roshan. I don't know if they can. Maybe Serpent Wards because they're not up. They're going to force xGame out of this area, but what could they do after that? They bought back for the Mirana to force them out of Roshan. Is the buyback on Mirana worth the enemy team not getting the Aegis? I don't know if it is.
To an extent, I would say in some ways yes, considering the Aegis at this point could decide the racks. I mean, the next Roshan, in all honesty, could be the result of the next full set of racks. Sunstroke's going to drop, does impact Sqreen, and taking him down to just under half health. That's how powerful the Invoker is with these levels. But still, buyback from Mirana. He was brought back to potentially Moonlight Shadow in if necessary, but not needed at the end of the day. So it's a hard one to call. To some extent, I would agree, yes, it's worth it. But it's worth it if it pays off and they can get some kills off of it as well. So the next fight, if it's within, say, the time that the Mirana would respawn in, I'll say the buyback's worth it.
I don't even know if it would have been truly worth it, though, because I think once xGame get these Serpent Wards again, they could just go for the Roshan, and there's going to be very little that Screen Squad could do in order to stop them. If they run to Stallcat, that could be really nice, although Stallcat's going to dodge all the heroes by blinking straight up the cliff. He's so close to death right now, but Sqreen Squad, they don't know about it. They're instead going to be waiting for mid lane, someone to show their face. Mantis, not really the target they want. Now they're going to moonlight in. They might run into Wadafaka, or they're just going to slide up to the top lane. Yes, it's going to be the Centaur, but he has a gem, so he's going to see everyone. Arrow is going to fly, and it will go wide. However, the Blink Dagger does get cancelled. As a Force Staff, they can't really get anything off of this one either, although Slander's definitely looking for it. If they fight in this position, it's probably going to be the worst possible scenario, although it is going to be a 3v5. Sqreen Squad, they're going to go for this top lane push again. This time they're going to get the tower, but last time they didn't exactly get out scot-free, so it's a little bit of risky business doing this, but they're going to get a tower in the end, so I guess you could say that's a win for Sqreen Squad.
In some ways, a win for Sqreen Squad, yes, they'll get the tier 2, but there is still the ability to fight here coming out of xGame. They can just brawl should they want to. But I think the order of business instead will be Roshan. You've already got Wadafaka cracking down on Rosh. He's half health. However, the pings do come out from Sqreen Squad. They realise this is going on, and they're making a beeline straight for the pit. This could be an absolute clusterbuck at the end of the day. I mean, it's all going to come down to the initiation. Sqreen's going to leap in to start this one. The Razor snatches the Aegis, and now the fight begins. They manage to shred at least the Skywrath and the Mirana. They equally bring down the Sniper in the back lines, but they use the Primal Split. They at least suspend the Razor, trying to do what they can. Now comes the Stampede out of Stalcat, looking for more, looking for any heroes they can find, but they're not going to catch anyone else. They wanted to try to find Venomancer, not going to be able to. Instead, they're going to find Slander, and he's not going to escape at all. Just so much potential to stun in this game. 4 for nothing in favour of xGame. However, Sqreen Squad did get the gold for killing the Roshan, but the Aegis did go xGame's way onto the Razor, and I don't think Razor even needed to use it in that one. No, he didn't. He's still got that Aegis, and with 4 heroes dead, I think it's time for that Rax, and Aegis decides Rax at this game. I called it earlier. Now comes the max buybacks. They want to try to at least contest this. Mirana up in 8 seconds, wants to at least hold it, do something, and at least attempt to defend it. Equal will eat a couple of assassinates, but they've still got that Eye of the Storm ticking, and the tower is just taking a good amount of damage, and now Slander going to blink in, look for that Thunderclap, get some damage across the board. Arrow's going to fly. Can it impact? Oh, almost catches Wadafaka, but the creeps save his life this time. But no, they're coming in the blinks aggressively. Starcat's going to be the target here. Don't get hit by the Thunderclap, but no, the Stampede should buy them enough time. And with that Stampede, I don't think he's in any threat. Then again, in comes the Mystic Flare. The damage is going to be too high now that all heroes are on target, but Assassinate's still going to fly through, forcing out Equal. The Centaur did fall. The end of the day, though, the tier 3 does still stand, and Sqreen defend.
I don't know how they're making these defenses. They were forced to buy back on both the Sniper and the Brewmaster, so now obviously they're going to look to make something happen off of this, and they're going to go straight down to the bottom lane. This tier 2 might be forfeit from xGame, but still, they haven't taken any decisive advantage as far as Rax are concerned just yet, so all in all, I think Sqreen Squad, despite the fact that it did make that kind of Hail Mary into that Roshan pit, the Mirana did end up grabbing Cheese. I didn't actually notice that one, but it was a necessary risk. Crucially, the Sniper didn't get his BKB off at all. Now the Echo Slam onto 3 with the Serpent deployed as well. That's going to be 3 down instantly from Sqreen Squad, and Sniper, once again, unable to pop his BKB. Sqreen himself is going to be leaping into the trees, but that was just such a clean initiation coming out from xGame, and now they're looking for Mirana. Where's the gem? I think, I don't know if they have the gem, but I don't even think it matters. That's going to be a complete 5-man team wipe in favor of xGame. And now Sqreen Squad, they don't have a single buyback. There's a minute where they are completely defenseless, and it's going to be the mid lane, which Equal is going to be starting to go down.
That was just pure explosive force. That is the only set of words I can use to describe that. Pure explosive force. They came in with a bloody sledgehammer with a nuclear tip on it. There was no way of stopping that.
And ordinarily, if you land that hit with the nuclear tip, you're probably going to be getting some kills. And getting 3 instantly is pretty much the ideal way to start a fight ever. So off of that, they're going to take, at the very least, this mid-tier 3 tower. Bottom lane, Razor's going to be working away with that Aghanimed Eye of the Storm. He'll take that one out soon enough. Squeeze Squad, they have 20 seconds where they're going to be at the mercy of xGame. I mean, they might land this ultimate from the Venomancer, but at the end of the day, these 2 heroes, actually only 1 hero, the Centaur, doesn't give a damn. He'll regenerate that one very quickly. It's going to be mid lane tier 3, bottom lane, range Rax, probably melee Rax as well, although Sqreen Squad, they are preparing themselves for this defense. And, well, they're going to be Mantis on the front lines already, just chasing everyone away. That's going to be a complete bottom Rax in favor of xGame. And now Mantis going to go straight for Hiroso. He can get with the Gale, and now the Stampede as everyone from xGame charges in. They're going to go for Slander first and foremost. He does have a split. He will not be able to get it off just yet. He's cold snapped permanently, and he won't be able to get it off at all. Where's the sniper in all of this? He is assassinating the Earthshaker. It's a nice little pick off, I guess, but without the Brewmaster, that means there's no split. That means the mid lane Raxes are also in trouble, and it's dropping a lot faster than before. Arrow's going to fly from the side, will clip onto Wadafaka once again, but even if they do get this Invoker kill, even if they get Mantis straight after, it's 2 Raxes down. They're going to throw up ZXC into the air and kill him off along with the Mirana. Wadafaka will be brought down by Scarthage, but now Necroman, he's caught in the shackles. The Earthshaker's going to continue this chain stun. Mantis style will not save you here, and now they're going to go for Sqreen, the last surviving hero of the squad. Still has that cheese in his inventory, and crucially we can see this Black King bar from the sniper is still at 10 seconds. That is going to be GG.
What an absolute explosive show of force, in all honesty, coming out of xGame. They realized, yep, we have the opportunity. Bam! Echo Slam. And off the back of that one fight on that bottom lane, everything just snowballed out of control. xGame will advance, and they will be taking on the Power Rangers, I believe.
Yeah, that's going to be the end of this best of 3, guys. xGame, it was quite a nice best of 3 series, to say the least. It had everything. It had Tusk pickups, it had quick games, it had long games, it had close games. But that's going to be it. xGame are going to move on, and unfortunately, Sqreen Squad, they're going to have to chill. Still in Division 1, though, so, you know, it's all good there. If you enjoyed this cast, guys, then please be sure to hit that follow button. We appreciate it a lot when you do so. If you really enjoyed it, then be sure to hit that subscribe button, and that's really where it gets good. So, yeah, be sure to do that. Twitter.com, Facebook.com/HeflaTV is where you're going to find more information about us, and the VODs will be up on YouTube.com/HeflaMoke soon enough. I've been one of your casters. I'm Mike Loris. I've been joined by Mr. Blackadder. Where can they find you, man?
They can find me everywhere at Mr._Blackadder on both Twitch and Twitter, and I think I'm going to go load up my stream and play a few after this one.
Alright, guys, so there is another best of 3 going on in HeflaTV 2. It's currently almost at game number 2. It's sitting in the lobby right now, so be sure to head over there. But aside from that, guys, hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you in the finals, potentially. GG.
Peace out, guys.